Hey, Quinn here. I'm just going to show you real quick how to customize or create a nice looking opt-in box for your iWowWe autoresponder. And if you've noticed looking in your video control panel, it'll give you the option to create a opt-in code, and you can put that on your website, but it's very plain and it doesn't look very nice. So what I did is I created a code here, and in cooperation with Will Fietland, who actually got me into iWowWe. We were talking, and he said that a lot of people were asking for this, so he's going to be helping me get this out there, and hopefully iWowWe will implement their own version of this, so it'll be easier. But for right now, I created this, and it's pretty easy. You can actually edit it and make the colors whatever you want, and do other things. So I'm going to get right into it here. It won't take long. All you have to do is, let's say you have a website. Right now we're actually on my website, GRW Design and Marketing. But if you have your own website, like a WordPress, which is what I've got right here, for example, this should work on any website, but I'm just using this to actually do a live demonstration, is that you can paste this code into your page, and then take the code from your autoresponder that you get from iWowWe, and then you'll have a fully functioning opt-in form for your autoresponder. So let's go back here, and all I'm going to do is, as you can see, I'm on the website here, which is where you should be, and I'm just going to start right here. I'm going to copy this code all the way down until I see end iWowWe form code. So I'm going to right click and copy that. I'm going to go over to my edit page here that I'm creating. Go and paste that in. And so you'll see these little lines right here that I've created. It says your form code goes below, your form code goes above. So what that means is that we're going to create a space here. And I'm going to go back to my video control panel, and I'm going to click on, I can click here, autoresponder, or they added these a while ago. I'll just click here. This will take me to my autoresponder campaigns. Now, if you don't have a campaign set up yet, you can go ahead and click on this part here, and that goes through a video, shows you how to get campaigns set up, and then you'll have these here. So once you have a campaign set up, these are some test campaigns I've set up just to test my form code, make sure it's working. You want to go to click on generate a contact form, and then you're going to select which campaign you want to generate a code for. So we'll just leave it at test and click on generate form. So this is the tricky part. So you don't want to copy all of the form, because I've already done that in the code. So all that you need is, if you look at, there's this long string of numbers, and then there's just this this arrow here, or the greater or less than signs. You want to go all the way back to the form, and then just to the beginning of that greater or less than sign. So we're going to copy just that part, okay? And then that's where this comes into play. We're going to, oops. I copied instead of pasting. All right. So let's go and actually paste it this time. All right. Awesome. So now you'll see that it's in there, and the rest of this code, you'll notice, is mostly the code from here on. And that had to be that way because the styling of the form, to make it easy to edit. And I'll show you that later if you want to actually edit the style. The style that I'm going to show you here is pretty much a basic, gray and white and green with a green button. So if I go to open a new tab, you'll see that I've just posted this form. You'll see what it looks like. Now, the thing is with WordPress is it likes to add these line breaks up here, or these spaces technically. So if you're doing this on WordPress, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go back and do some little fixing here. So I'm going to click on visual, which is usually something you don't want to do, but in this case it's necessary. So I'm going to go like that. I'm going to hit the backspace to remove that space there. I'm going to click update. And I might have to do it again. Yeah, it's going to show me again that there's another space there. So I'm going to have to do it again. Click on update. And now it's usually important that you don't switch back to text here, because it can mess up the code. So once you have this in there the way you want it, it's best just to leave it and not go back to text. Okay, so let's go ahead and refresh this, and you should see that those spaces are gone. Yep, so there it is. So let's say that you want to change, the name. Now you can do that here. You can actually go and say, get on my list. And then if you want, because the last name is not required in the actual code in here, you can actually remove that. So if you just want people to have to put their first name in and their email, and you don't want to have this show up, then you can actually delete this right here. So we'll delete that, and then I'm going to click Update. And there it is. So if I go back over here, you'll see that that is, in fact, all updated. So there is a way to remove that if you're not using WordPress as far as the last name. So I'll go into that. But first, what I want to do is show you how to actually change the colors on this, including the button. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the page here. And you'll notice at the top of the document, if I scroll up all the way in this frame, there's where it says editor right here. Okay, so go and click on that, and it's going to open up. Technically, you'd want to, it opens up in the frame. You can still use that, but what I would recommend actually, now that I think about it, is I'm going to reload this, and you want to right click. Let's go here, right click, and open link in new tab. That way it'll open, in a full new tab, and you'll have more space to do what you're going to do. So if you notice here, this is a form builder that has, like, you can style the code. So I basically use the code from this, and I incorporated it into the iWowWe form code. So all you have to do if you want to change the styling of this code is you can use these sliders and all the different color selectors here. So I'm actually going to make the corners more round, and just for sake of demonstration. And you'll notice the submit button is actually on the right side, but what I've done in the form code is I've actually changed it so it constantly stays in the center. So you don't have to worry about that submit button being on the right side. So let's say I want to make this fit in more better with my website, which is kind of like this salmony, orangish color. So over here on my editing tool, I can click on this right here, and I can drag it over here, make it a little bit more orange, as you can see. And then let's say I wanted the sign up right here to be white, so it stands out more. Let's go into, I'll make that white. Okay, so now the sign up and the name and all that's white. And I can actually go ahead and change the shadow color so it stands out more. So I turn that down to like maybe a darkish gray. So now you can see they pop out more. And I could go on and do a lot of changing with this, like the inside of here, So like right here, for example, I can click on that and change that to white. Actually, I might want to change that all the way to black, and then let's see. Make that white there. So now it's looking a bit more like it belongs on my website. So what I'm going to do is now after I'm done, maybe I want to change the corner radius of the button too to match the form. I can actually go down here and click on Generate CSS. So that's going to give me my style information. So I'm going to scroll down here, and you'll see that up here it starts with .form container. So I want to start selecting that, go all the way down to this curly bracket, and that's the bottom. I want to copy it, and I'm going to go back. Now normally, like I said, you wouldn't want to go and click on text again, but in order for this for me to show you how I'm going to change the style, I'm going to have to do that. So hopefully it doesn't break the code. Probably won't, but I always use that as a precaution just to not change things. So I should have done this before, but for the sake of the demonstration, I had to do it, now. So you'll see that it says there's this spot where it says your style code. Actually, I'll just select it. Your style code goes above. So essentially, what you want to do is you want to stop before you get to that point. So you want to, this is your curly bracket that was in the other code you copied. So you want to make sure that you're between these notes here, where it says your style code goes below, and your style code goes above. So everything in between that should be selected. You're just going to select, right click, and paste. And now if I update that, and I go over here and I refresh, if it didn't break the code, you'll see, yep. So the color is different here. So if I click on these, it turns white like it was selected and then the button is in the center. Now, one thing you'll notice is that the button right here is square, and that's a limitation on the browser that I'm using. So if you notice, so it did fall back to a method, or a style that would work on my browser, so it's not going to break. So just keep that in mind when you're going through and editing the style. It might not look the same on all browsers. Okay. So, all right, let's go back to the code. I'm going to show you how to remove the last name manually if you're not using the WordPress. Okay. So if I go here, I'm actually going to do this all over again. I'm just going to copy this, go down, just like we did the first time. And I'm going to repaste it. So we're starting from scratch here. Okay, so this is a little bit more tricky. You have to look into the code here, and you're going to see where it says last name right here. So you're going to want to select everything from the line down. You'll notice that there's a line below there. So where it says input, where it starts with the input. So all of that, including where it says the BR right here, you want to select that. And then I'm going to delete that. Now what I want to do though is I want to show you how this actually looks before and after. So I did not delete it yet. So I'm going to go back here, I'm going to refresh so that you can see that it's actually there. So see how the last name is now there because we, I copied the original code. So I'm going to go down there and I'm going to find the code right here like I said. So I'm going to right click and just cut that out, and I can hit backspace. And now I have to make sure and do this again, or else the form will look strange. So, oops. So I'm going to put this in here and update it, and you'll notice that once I refresh the page, the last name section is gone. So there it is. And the last thing is if you want to change the title up here where it says sign up, that's pretty simple. So we'll go back to our page here. Oops. And go back down to where we were at. And you'll notice that a couple lines down from where it says your form code goes above, there will be this where it says sign up right there. So all you need to do is change that to anything you want. So I'll put in there anything you want. Oops. Might be nice to spell right. Okay, we'll update that. And refresh, and you'll see that it says anything you want. Now the only other thing I could think of you might want to do is change the width, so I'll just quickly show you how to do that. If we go back into our code here and you look at the very top, you'll see your style code goes below. we've already seen that. If you scroll down just a little bit under Form Container, down near the bottom of this section here, okay, you'll see width here. And this is in pixels. So right now it's at 300 pixels. And if you want to make it, larger to fit like all the way across your screen, you can go ahead and do that. If you need to make it skinnier to like fit in a sidebar, you can do that. So what I'll do is right here, I'll just quickly go and put 200 in there. And then if I update this, you'll notice that it actually is noticeably skinnier here. So just go ahead and do that. So there you go. So I think that's pretty much all you need to know to customize it to fit your website. So hopefully this will be useful for you, and hopefully soon iWowWe will implement some type of customization, solution in the video control panel. But until then, this should be able to get you by until then. All right, so have fun.